Hi, it's Dr. Sandy Queen with Queen Homeschool Supplies, and I'm sitting here in another corner of my office at the Holistic Wellness Center, which is right next to our book warehouse for Queen Homeschool Supplies. And I just want to continue my video series on the Charlotte Mason approach. And today I want to talk to you about nature study. So Charlotte Mason was a very big proponent of nature study. She felt that every Christian should be out observing God's creation daily if possible. And so she was very supportive of doing nature study with children. And I want to talk about some of the resources that we have at queenhomeschool.com, and also how if you can't do nature study the traditional way that she recommended, you can still do nature study with your children. First of all, there are many different avenues to study nature. You can start a nature club, you can go on nature walks and nature hikes, you can keep a nature journal, many different things. One of the resources that we have at queenhomeschool.com is the Nature Study Idea book by Mary Woodis. And this is a book for parents that is a wonderful resource that teaches you how to teach nature study to your children, no matter what age they are, anywhere from preschool up through high school. It talks about all these different aspects of how to do nature study, as well as being a wealth of information on what you need to know to be able to help your child learn. For example, if you go to the section on geology, there's information right in here to teach you as the parent how to share with your child the different types of rocks and what they are and that kind of stuff. So the Nature Study Idea book is a wonderful resource for that, for when you go out and do nature study with your child. Another thing, sometimes people say, well, I'd love to keep a nature journal with my children or have my children keep nature journals, but my kids are at a loss how to draw nature things. And we hear that quite often, which is why we came out with this course called A Backyard Nature Drawing Guide by Douglas Farnham, who is an award-winning artist and does a lot of illustrating for us. And so Douglas's book will give your child step-by-step instruction on how to sketch different types of creatures, animals, insects, birds, plants. There's a few more pages in there. There are some full color pages. Here's the box. So lots of instructional stuff. And you can also get the companion sketch pad, which is a nice thick blank book that your child can fill up with their own sketches. Now let's say all of that sounds great to you, but you just don't see the time in your busy homeschooler day to go out every day and look for nature study things to do because you're just too busy. And frankly, that's what my life is like now too. We did come out with a series to address just that. And that would be our Discovering Nature and Science series, where we have many different volumes for all different ages. There's one for high schoolers on alternative medicine and anatomy. There's high school biology. There's chemistry, there's physics, astronomy. There's ones for very young children who aren't yet ready to do researching and writing that the other books require. So there's many different levels. And if you look under the science section at queenhomeschool.com, under the nature study, the Discovering Nature and Science series, you'll see them all listed roughly in order from the easiest to the most difficult. So from the youngest student to the oldest student. I want to just show you a little bit about this volume, Mary's Meadow. It's one of the ones right in the middle, anywhere from about 4th grade up through maybe 7th grade, 8th grade even. This is a course on botany. They're all set up similarly. The ones for younger kids will have some younger kid activities instead of some of the researching and writing involved in these ones for older kids. But I do want to show you how the courses in general are set up using Mary's Meadow here as an example. So each of the courses in our Discovering Nature and Science series includes a living book that is integrated into the volume. You don't need to go out and buy that living book separately. It's already integrated in here. So every Monday, we'll start with them reading a chapter of the ongoing story. So, okay, so this Monday, we're reading a chapter of the story here. And again, this story in this volume is a wonderful story about a group of siblings in England who happened to find an old book in their grandfather's attic. And the book happens to be the journal of the Queen's gardener, telling how he kept the Queen's garden. And they decide, boy, wouldn't it be really fun to be able to duplicate the Queen's garden right here on our grandfather's property. And so the grandfather has a meadow on his property that he gives them to use for that purpose, hence the name of the book, Mary's Meadow. Mary is one of the main characters, obviously. And so while they're reading through the journal of the Queen's Gardener, they learn all about composting and what the different layers of soil are and how to graft trees, how to plant seeds, how far apart to place them, how deep to plant them, how to build a cold frame, how to design a garden, about biennials and perennials and annual plants, and just so many things, as well as how to deal with pests in a garden naturally, and just so much information there. You can see a free sample of this book and all the books in this series on our website as well. So on Monday, they're going to have a chapter of that ongoing wonderful story to read, and that chapter is going to introduce whatever the new topic is that they're going to learn about that particular week. And then the rest of the week will be spent doing a variety of different types of lessons, and that's going to vary depending on which course you choose. Okay, this one, they're learning about different types of plants and weeds and all sorts of different things, okay? So each day you'll see different activities. Some of them will be drawing, some of them will be researching and writing, some of them will be identification of different plants and different types of trees and things like that. It just depends on which volume you choose. In this particular course, since the people that are mentioned, such as the Queen and the Queen's Gardener, were real people, we do have one lesson where they will research each of those people and find out more about the people that we're actually talking about in the story. So that's kind of cool too. But you'll see lots of different ideas here, lots of activities related to plants and different insects, beneficial and harmful to plants, and plant classification, if I haven't said that already. Lots of fun activities. This is one of my favorites personally. And the story portion was written by the #1 selling children's author in England during her lifetime, who happens to be the daughter of the woman who wrote Parables from Nature, which is another volume in here. So that's just a trivia tidbit for you. So anyhow, that's our Discovering Nature and Science series, just in a nutshell. Again, you can see samples of each of those books at queenhomeschool.com. And tomorrow I want to talk to you about history. So make sure you tune in at 11:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to view the video. If you can't view it then, join us later. The videos will still be posted on our Facebook group page.